So you may have heard the word ADU, and I'm going to explain what an ADU is and why it matters. The big changes that are coming to Virginia real estate, if you're a homeowner, buyer, or an investor, this could open up opportunities that you didn't have before. You see, starting in 2027, you may be able to build a second living space on your property by right. This means no special approvals, no jumping through hoops, and yes, this could mean rental income, multi-generational living, or both. So let's break down what's happening and why it matters. We're talking about something called an accessory dwelling unit, or ADU for short. This could be a small detached home in your backyard. It could be a garage converted into an apartment. It may even be a basement suite, or what people often call as an in-law suite. And the idea is very, very simple. One property, more usable living space. We've got a housing shortage, especially in places like Arlington, Alexandria, across Northern Virginia, and prices are high. Inventory is tight and affordability is a real issue. So ADUs are being seen as a practical solution. Here's the big news. There's a new law, Senate Bill 531. It's officially been signed by Governor Abigail Spanberger. The bill was led by Kenan Tambasina and Saddam Salim. After multiple attempts, it's finally passed. So what does this law actually do and say? Starting next year, July 1st, 2027, ADUs will be allowed by right, meaning you don't need special approval in most cases. Now, local governments must allow for them in single-family zoning districts. Permitting fees are capped at $500 to allow everybody to be able to participate, and restrictions are often reduced, like excessive setback rules could come off the table. This is a big one. You no longer need a family relationship to rent the space. Let me pause for just a second. If we haven't met before, I'm Norm Neal, local realtor here in Northern Virginia, and I've helped hundreds of clients successfully buy, sell across this entire area, from Arlington, Fairfax, Loudoun County, Prince William County. Fairfax already said that, but I'm talking Oakton, Vienna, McLean, you name it. I want to be your trusted resource before, during, and long after your move. I would love to add you to our client family. Please email me, contact me on my phone number below. It certainly would be a pleasure to get you home here in Northern Virginia. So let's continue with some real estate. What's the big deal with these ADUs? Well, let me translate what this really means. Before this law, you were at the mercy of the local government. They could deny your permit, delay your project, charge high fees, or make it so restrictive that it didn't make sense. So what's happening now is the state is stepping in and saying, we need more housing, and we're making it easier on Virginia homeowners. So let's talk about how people will actually use this. You can create more housing without building new neighborhoods. It can help families stay together and give homeowners extra income. You see, as a homeowner, you could build a unit in your backyard that rents for $1,500, $2,000 or more per month. That's additional income to space, land that you already own. Also, a family that creates space for aging parents without losing independence, that's another idea. Have your parents live on the property in their own space, detached from yours, but very close. What are some other options? Well, a young buyer could house hack this. They could use an ADU to offset their mortgage with rental income. And I'm seeing that across the board. As housing goes up in price, my clients are looking for ways to maybe lower those costs. And an ADU is a way to do that. If you're an investor, you may want to start targeting properties with ADU potential, or consider what you already own. Can you add an ADU ADU to add additional income. Well, this could have a real impact on homes, current market values, things like this. Homes that can support an ADU, homes that say back to an alley or on a corner and can have a second access point to the backyard, or homes that just have huge yards, they may become more desirable. Why is that? Well, it's because buyers aren't just buying the home anymore. They're buying the income potential, and in the higher cost areas, this could be a real game changer. You see, part of the bigger picture is this. The law is part of a bigger trend. Housing organizations across the country, like Housing Opportunities Made Equal of Virginians, have been pushing for more housing access, and other groups are calling it a matter of property right. You own the home, you should be able to do more with it. This is happening across the country. All the states are starting to rethink zoning, and Virginia is now stepping into that conversation in a serious way. You know, what should you take away from all of this? This isn't just policy change, it's an opportunity. So whether you're a homeowner thinking about adding value, or a buyer looking for flexibility, or an investor planning ahead, this is something you want to understand now, not next year, not in 2027, now. So what is it you might still need to know? Well, even with ADUs and even with this new law, there's still going to be some guidelines you need to follow. For example, the building code, the Virginia Uniform Statewide Building Code, national building codes, local requirements such as parking and owner occupancy, and then also there's the financing option. Because if you're going to build an ADU from scratch, I see most of my clients using a home equity line of credit or HELOC, or they might consider a construction loan, because traditional loans don't always count ADU income towards the underwriting supporting the project. That's something you might want to consider as you go through next steps. I can give you some of that advice. This is what I want to leave you with. If you're here in Northern Virginia, Arlington, Fairfax, Alexandria, Falls Church, McLean, anywhere, Loudoun, Prince William counties, you might be interested which properties could qualify for an ADU, and what does this mean for your current home's value, for example? Or how can you plan ahead for this upcoming change? Questions like this, I love to discuss. I want you to reach out. I'd be happy to talk you through it regarding your specific property, or maybe a property you've been considering. Now, if you're thinking about moving to Arlington or moving to Northern Virginia, or just exploring your options, let's connect. I specialize in helping buyers identify opportunities before they hit the public market, and then positioning sellers to really maximize value. You can email me. All my contact information is right here below. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and then comment which topic you want to see next. Or do you already live in a property with an ADU? Have you rented an ADU from a current homeowner? I'd love to hear about it. And remember, questions, concerns, hallucinations, call Norm.